Hey, what's up? This is Frank. I've got a special treat for you today. We're going to take a little ride in this Toyota MR2 with a V6 swap, a 2GR FE 3.5 liter V6 swap. Um, this is a project car that I just finished working on recently, and we're up on the sides of Haleakala, the volcano. So this ride is going to be kind of inspired by a combination of smoking tire and initial D. If you're familiar with those, we're not going to do anything crazy, but that's the inspiration for this little driving adventure that we're going to go on today. So let's get our camera set up and we'll be on our way. Okay, we'll see how we do with traffic. It shouldn't be too bad. We'll get going here.
Hey, do you think I'm a doomcock or an idiot? Because that's what I would have to be if I left a wandering ink standing around openly in the laboratory where so many of my enemies would have entry. So how did he explain? Well, he thought it might have been an assistant.
And right up here, we should be able to take a little turn and avoid the traffic for the rest of the way. You just got a short distance to go behind these trucks. So this car is a 1993 Toyota MR2. It came with the 5SFE 2.2 liter naturally aspirated engine, which is the same engine that was found in a lot of Toyota Camrys of the time. So the update I've done is to give it an engine from a much newer Camry, a 2007 Camry, which is the 3.5 liter 2GR FE with dual valve, variable valve timing, both on the exhaust valves and the intake valves. And I was hoping that this truck ahead of us was going to turn the other way, but no such luck. We're going to have to pass him. And here. Okay, so anyway, the engine that's in this car now was being sold until just maybe even last year's model year, or I don't know if this model year the 2GR has been updated. Quite likely it has, but it was being sold until very recently, so it's a modern engine with oh, here we go. We're going to have some clear sailing coming up ahead of us here. Okay, so for this swap, I was inspired by the work of a guy named Mark Lagrange, who's known on the MR2 forums as Gouky, and he has a business called Frankenstein Motorworks. And he was the first to swap the 2GR FE engine into an MR2. He swapped an engine from a 2006 Avalon into a 1994 MR2, and he did this back in 2008. And then he went on to develop a lot of the items like motor mounts and exhaust headers and water neck and pedal adapter that are now used in this type of swap. And who knows how many of these swaps have been done over the years. I don't have a number for that, but I'm guessing it might be getting up into the 100 or 200 or maybe more now. So it's a fairly popular swap. It's not too hard to do if you know what you're doing. There's a lot of little details that have to come together. But the exciting thing for me is that this swap is now to the point where it can be done with just off-the-shelf parts, pretty much. You know, you don't really have to fabricate anything very involved anymore. You can just use parts that are readily sold, that are available from various sellers, and like for the headers and motor mounts, water neck, etc., as I mentioned, you can get those from Mark and Frankenstein Motor Works. The harness for the engine can be done by Wiregap, which is a small company that specializes in custom harnesses. And let's see, what else? The ECU is a big deal, and it is also done by Mark, Frankenstein Motor Works. So you can do this swap with almost all off-the-shelf parts with very little fabrication required. And that was it for the exciting part of our drive. Now we're back to some regular highway driving. You notice I have a little bit of grabbiness on the clutch there, and that's combined with a drive-by-wire pedal. Makes it a little bit tough to gauge sometimes on takeoff. Right? So, I've heard that Mark has a new pedal system that may have a little bit less sensitivity, and might be a little bit easier on takeoffs, especially if you have a light flywheel and a grabby clutch like I do. Okay, so with that said, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you the next time, okay?